Hi, my name's Daniel Bullock. Over the course of the Hi, my name's Daniel. Over the course of the last 4 months, I've been putting together an eProject for my CCNA 289 class. This included a new location for a fictitious company called Better Horizons. It included 3 new locations, all in Texas. Hi, my name's Daniel Bullock. Over the course of the past 4 months, I've been putting together an eProject for my NET289 class. This was for a new location for a company called Better Horizons, fictitious, made up for the course, located in Texas. The new offices would have 3 branches in Texas, a Houston, a Dallas, and a San Antonio. Together, they added up to 4 routers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 switches, and at least 6 VLANs. And the eProject is a compiled topology, floor plan, hardware order sheet, all the basics necessary for setting up this new network. Hi, my name's Daniel Bullock. Over the course of the last 4 months, I've been putting together an eProject for a fictitious company called Better Horizons .net. Nope, that's .com. Hi, my name's Daniel Bullock. Over the course of the past 4 months, I've been putting together an eProject for a fictitious company called BetterHorizons.com. In this, we set up a new branch in Texas with 3 new locations: Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. Between them, there are 4 new routers, 8 new switches, and at least 6 VLANs. This project will cover the basics of setting up this new network, all the equipment needed, and the basic configurations for all the network devices. The network for this fictitious company will require at least 6 VLANs. 1 for clerical, 1 for classrooms, testing, administration, instructors, and wireless. Also 1, that actually makes 7, for the networking for this. The networking for this fictitious company will require 7 VLANs. Clerical, classroom, administration, instructors, testing, and wireless. The network for this fictitious company will require 7 VLANs. Clerical, classroom, administration, instructors, testing, wireless, and 1 for switch administration. These 7 will provide isolation between the different networks, providing extra security and prevention of excess packet floating around. The networking for this fictitious company will require 7 VLANs. Clerical, classroom, testing, administration, instructors, wireless, and switch administration. These 7 will create appropriate isolation between the networks, preventing inappropriate communication of devices and excessive packets floating around the network. They will allow easy isolation of the different segments and prevention of communication between the different nodes of the network as necessary using ACLs. They will also allow control of communications to the frame relay and to the internet to only appropriate parties, and altogether will create a better security model for the network. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 standard wireless routers. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless router. The wireless router will be very simply configured for basic security and DHCP protocol. The rest of the routers will be heavily configured with ARPs, no, not ARPs, ACLs. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless. The wireless will be configured for security and basic DHCP protocol, but that's about it. The 4 wired routers will be heavily configured for ACLs, security, The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless. The wireless will be configured for basic security and DHCP protocol. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless. The wireless router will be configured. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless. The wireless router will be configured for basic DHCP functionality and WPA2 security. The wired routers will be configured for ACL security, interface security. No. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers, 1 wireless router. The wireless router will be configured for WPA2 security and DHCP functionality. The wired routers will be configured with ACL control lists, which is repetitive. I shouldn't say ACL control lists. The network for this fictitious company will require 4 wired routers and 1 wireless router. The wireless router will be configured with DHCP server and the network for this fictitious company will be configured with 4 wired routers and 1 wireless. The wireless router will be configured with basic DHCP protocol and WPA2 security. The wired routers will have access control lists to prevent communication between networks that shouldn't communicate. One of them will be configured with PAT and NAT for internet connection. They will all be configured to share their networks with the other routers on the network as appropriate using EIGRP or OSPF. For our fictitious company, we created a domain called betterhorizons.com. Using Windows Server, we created an Active Directory setting that For a fictitious company, we created an active domain setup in Windows Server 2008. It included For our fictitious company, we created an Active Directory setup with 3 users configured as examples. We used a login script to automatically mount directories inside of the Windows 2008 server on the individual user desktops using XP clients as examples. For a fictitious company, we created a Windows Server 2008 server and 3 XP clients. The XP clients had matching usernames, and those were set up in the Active Directory for a Better Horizon domain. They automatically mounted on login. For a fictitious company, we created an active domain directory with the domain name of betterhorizons.com. We also had 3 XP clients with usernames to go with them. On login, these XP clients automatically loaded a login script that mounted shared folders as network drives on the individual computers, which matched groups and username folders on the server. We also set up a shared printer that was automatically pushed to the computer via group policy objects. For a fictitious company, we created a Windows Server 2008 domain and used ArgoSoft email server as an example. We created the 3 users and then went to the XP hosts and configured Outlook Express for all 3 users. We were able to successfully send and receive emails between the 3 users using our virtual Windows 2008 server and the Outlook Express clients. For a fictitious company, we created a Windows Server 2008 environment, used ArgoSoft email server, and created user accounts for all 3 users. On our XP hosts, we then configured Outlook Express as the email client, and were able to send and receive emails between all 3. For a fictitious company, we created a Windows Server 2008 environment, used ArgoSoft email server as our example email server, created the user accounts inside of ArgoSoft and configured the domain. We then went to our 3 XP hosts and configured Outlook Express for each user. After successful configuration, we were able to send and receive emails between all 3 and verify in the ArgoSoft software that all 3 were functioning correctly.